Right, so this is take 3 of all things. First time I was recording, the mic wasn't working. Second time, the thing must have came loose. So this is a real speed run now. I just want to talk about the Osawa 24mm lens. That is what I'm shooting with right now, and it is beautiful. I bought it secondhand on eBay for about 40 quid, and it's just a lens I really like, and I just kind of wanted to talk a bit just about lenses in general. I was going to say I want to talk about it specifically, but in the other 2 takes I've done, I keep talking about the rest of the lenses, so I'm not going to beat around the bush. Why did I put such emphasis on bush there? Who knows? It's a mystery, but one of the things about the Osawa is it's got this really soft, dreamy quality, as you can probably see. I've also got a Black Pro mist on top of it as well, which is making it kind of extra soft. I was doing headshots for a actress, and I was like, can I use this lens just for a bit, just to kind of try it out, because I've never got somebody to actually sit for me or stand for me in this case. And I just want to try it out and see what you think. So took the photos, showed it to her, and she was like, I like it, but it is, you know, it's too soft. It's going to be unusable. And that's like the big flaw with this thing, with this lens, is that it's just too soft. I just can't think of a good way that I'll be able to use it. You know, I was thinking about it, and the only way it would be for some kind of, you know, idealized scenario, or a dream sequence, or some kind of flashback where they're flashing back to like a more positive time, because it's got this real dreamy, creamy quality that I just love the look of. But I know I'm never going to be able to get like proper use out of it. I used it for some BTS photos, and again, I'll probably fire them up on screen. Again, look great, but just not going to be able to use it. I bought this lens. I didn't realize it was going to be like that. I kind of bought that lens because I needed something like this. I needed something like my 24mm Canon EFS lens. I love this lens. It is a workhorse. It's great for landscape photography. Obviously, it's a wide angle lens, but I think it's fine for portraiture as well. I think it's absolutely grand for shooting people with. There's not too much of a distortion. They don't look too weird for my liking. It's not crazy like it would start to get if you were using like an 18mm. It's always in my camera bag. It always comes out to whatever I'm going. If I'm using the camera, this lens is coming with me. And the only problem with it is there's no manual aperture adjustment. And the Canon C100 Mark II, which is what I'm shooting with as well, that's the camera body. It is, what's the issue with it? It's got a weird auto iris kind of function. So because I can't adjust this, and I have to kind of go by what the camera says the aperture I should use, it was a bit annoying. I was using it on a short film that I was shooting for the Belfast Filmmaking Club, and it was my first time doing DOP and first time really properly using it, everything all together in not a professional setting, but in a setting where, you know, I had to challenge myself, not like this where I'm kind of just talking to a camera. I needed it to kind of go, I needed to go a more narrow aperture. I needed it to go to like 4 or something like that, but it kept giving me 2.8, which wasn't ideal, and it was kind of annoying for the focus wise, because it's the only kind of like wide angle lens that I have. This goes to 18mm. This is 18 to 55mm. It's a kit lens. It's great, but again, no manually adjustable aperture. So I bought the Osawa because it does have a manual adjustable aperture. Manual adjustable aperture. Manual adjustable aperture. That's an annoying phrase to keep having to say. But again, the problem with it is everything's just too kind of soft. Everything's too kind of creamy. But I love how it looks. And yeah, it only cost 40 quid secondhand on eBay. I do love vintage lenses, and you do not need to break the bank to get like something that looks really nice. Like, for example, you know, I've had this 50mm for a while, and it's nice. It's nice. It's just, I don't know. It just does the job really well. It's a real kind of, I don't really have too much to say about it. I love it. It's great. It's handy, but it rarely, kind of stays in the house a lot. I may sell it at some point, but I can't part ways with lenses. These are 2 50mm lenses that I have. This was the one I ended up shooting the short film with. It's an Ache Pentax 50mm. Gorgeous, really surprised. I don't remember buying this, yet somehow it's in my possession. And this is a Helios 44-2. This is the one that a lot of kind of camera people are kind of creaming about. I think they used these on the Batman, and I think they used it on Poor Things. Maybe, I don't know. I think there's like different versions of them. These were made in the USSR, and it's supposed to have a really nice bokeh. I've not been able to take advantage of that. I don't think I'm that skilled at the minute. I don't know what it is I'm doing wrong, but I can't seem to get that nice kind of dreamy bokeh out of it. I don't really use it that much. Probably I would use this more again, you know, because unlike this, it's got the manual aperture, which makes it just so much handier. Goes all the way up to 16, 1.8 is the lowest. Because it's got more of a manual kind of feel to it, I would probably use that sooner than this one, even though this is a really nice, it's just a really nice lens. And this as well, I use this to, whenever I was doing like kind of semi-professional photography when I worked at the car place, they had me taking photos of cars for the website. And this was great. This did everything I needed to do. It went wide enough for me. It goes wider than this. This goes wider than this, which is handy, especially in like a professional setting where people just kind of, it's not that they don't care about the quality of the image, but they're not as fussy about like the lenses. But yeah, but the Osawa is great. It's a great lens I'll probably never be able to use properly on a shoot, or, you know, if I'm doing headshots again. But what can you do? It's yeah, you really don't need to break the bank when it comes to buying your lenses. A nice lens is nice, but if you're shooting in the dark, it doesn't really matter. I would say your lights are more important. I've got the Amaran 60X bicolor. I've got that on full blast, and it's just coming at me from that angle. And then I've got a flat panel light, and it is just, I can, like, it's just off camera here, whereas that's a bit further back. And then I've got a kind of flat panel light, and that is firing the red onto here just to give me a bit of separation from the head. Because what I've realized is, if you're a cameraman or a cinematographer or you're doing lights, your main job is to separate the layers to kind of give the image depth. That seems to be my understanding. I could be wrong. I could be talking out my hoop, but it's important to realize that you got to separate the image out to give it that depth. Like if I turn this off, if I can do it easily, where is it? Where is the switch? Oh man. What if I just do that? That would be handier, wouldn't it, Kieran? Like if I turn that off, my top of my head kind of blends into the background, whereas if I stick the red light on, it gives a bit of separation. It doesn't make much sense where that red light's coming from, but it's a talking head to camera, so I'm not too concerned about it. Yeah, your lights, I would say if you're doing self-tapes or if you're wanting to be a cameraman or a cinematographer, I would say you could probably get a half-decent DSLR body. I don't know about mirrorless, I don't know anything about that, but I've got like a 550D and it's done me for years. It's only recently I've got the Canon C200 Mark II. Yeah, the kit lens is fine. Focus more on getting like a decent set of lights. That's more important. And also a lav mic and some kind of sound recorder. I'm using my phone. It's being a bit temperamental, so I might not use it again and actually use my Zoom one that I've got kicking about here somewhere. But moral is, you don't need to break the bank when it comes to your lenses. Focus more on your light. Focus most of all on your mic. Your mic is more important than your lights. Your lights are more important than your lenses. Your lenses are more important than your camera body. I could be wrong. Maybe that's not your hierarchy, but that for me, the more I've done, the more I've worked, the more photos I've taken, the more film I've shot. That's become apparent to me. If you disagree, let me know in the comments or send me a message, tell me I'm wrong. But yeah, have a good day. I really hope I don't have to film this again because I'm done.